specifically made two teams. He like, kind of initiated all this because again, he's the one who put the code together. He made two teams specifically to maximize the chance of them winning. Roddy is dead. She's love that. Reveals Segura will not save the world that Solix believes in order to prevent him from backing out. She puts him to sleep with her psychic powers. She also has psychic powers until everyone else joins the game. Tavros is friends with Gamzee because as of right now, Gamzee's he's weird, but he's chill.
He's high.
Yeah, he's high. Vriska drama, which we already got to, and with Vriska drama, we get to make her pay, which shows all the shit that Vriska does. Oh, that's not make her pay. Where did I
just close it?
Did I? Reopen close tab. There we go.
So that's when the cue ball explodes.
This
her
is
arm.
Vriska. This is right after the cue ball explodes. So her arm is gone, her eye is gone. She's pissed.
Who exploded the cue ball again?
Terezi manipulated Doc Scratch into exploding the cue ball. Also, all of the trolls have gray skin and candy corn horns.
Is this in the present or like did this happen before?
All the stuff introducing the trolls happened before. Instead of sleeping in beds, trolls sleep in these slimy cocoons. They're weird.
What is that?
That is Terezi. She's about to go blind. To what happens afterwards. This is during the Trolls session, so they're all playing. Everyone's already in the game besides Solix at this point. He's still asleep, and the teams are going at it, trying to see who can win. There's Gamzee, that's Peppery, that's Solix. He doesn't use a weapon, he has psychic powers. That's Equius, that's Nepeta. They are Moirails. There's Tavros with his lance, that's Naya. And this is a rivalry that goes on throughout most of Homestuck, Arid and Solix. They hate each other. Vriska and Tavros. Vriska is a master manipulator and for some reason still gets Tavros to be her friend.
Where are we?
Radia, seeing that Vriska is doing well, decides to put an end to that. Also, yeah, she's a robot now. Equius builds a robot body for her and does something kind of fucked up. But he programs the robot to be in love with him so that when she possesses the robot, she has feelings for him that she can't deny. As you can see, she's very angry at Vriska for killing her and fucking with Tavros. That's by the way, to show how good of a person Terezi is. After being blinded by Vriska, that's all she wanted for her revenge was to slap Vriska.
So Vriska's not dead.
Vriska is not dead yet. She is.
You might want to turn down.
Love the
I want to turn down the YouTube volume on specifically this one so you don't need to turn it down.
So that leads us to, after make her pay, we get to the Mobius double reach around. So the Mobius double reach around is essentially let me see one thing for a second. I gotta make sure. Okay. Solix was still not in the game by the time they started. By the time Pfeffery's Lucine got cold. So that means everyone died, including Solix, but everyone who was still not in the game. Solix, dead. But luckily, he is unique in the sense that because of his whole thing with 2 mind, 2 bold, whatever, he has 2 dreams versions of himself. Normally, he only got 1, and it's either on CrossFit or on Durst. He has one both on CrossFit and on Durst. So he essentially has 3 lives, so losing 1 isn't as big of a deal compared to everyone else. That's still a life. We're gonna check, see, did anyone die? No. Yeah. Vriska's dying, by the way. Not dead.
Is the roll body kind of dying?
No. We already have her body as
Oh.
Valinor. So, red and blue teams, all that. Mobius double reach around is essentially the realization that despite there being 2 teams, teams have to link up together eventually since Solix is dead, and that they're essentially just one big team now. And seeing that they're one big team now, Karkat decides to take hold and become the leader. He tries to save Solix before he dies, but it's too late. But Pfeffery manages to make her way back and kisses Solix's corpse. This brings in something in Homestuck that is pretty important, as once you kiss someone's corpse, if they still have a living dream self, it awakens their dream self. So Solix can continue to do things. Karkat, after assuming leadership of the now combined 12 troll team, get together the whole gang as they go to fight the Black King, which is the last obstacle in their way. Which leads us to not an official animation, a fan-made one. It was a collaborative project, but Andrew Hussey, the creator of Homestuck, liked it so much that they said this is pretty much exactly what happened. So, seeing as that is the case, we are going to watch it.
Well, all the Star Wars like that we do.
Most of them do. As in Homestuck proper, we never actually see or hear directly what happens during this fight. It's only alluded to. I think even the only things we really know about it is that they beat the Black King, that Vriska saved them, and that Gamzee did a lot of the heavy lifting. As you can see, it is a multi-animated project.
This is fan game.
This is so good for fan animation.
And also, the Black King, that is the Black King by the way, the reason he's so strong, has so many powers, is because a lot of the trolls prototype their Lucises, which means that he has all of the Lucises powers, which are very similar to the trolls' own abilities. That is Karkat. That is Krabby Meow Meow. Next up is Terezi. The fun fact about this song, this is an actual song in Homestuck. It incorporates all 12 trolls' themes. And so I love it. So right now, Terezi's theme is fun.
Totally deserved.
Now that's how Vriska's dice work. If you're wondering how she uses dice as a weapon, she rolls something and something happens. Yes, that was Rufio from Hook.
That's funny.
Tavros believes that he has an ancestor who was named Rufio and looks and acts exactly like Rufio from Hook, despite not knowing what Hook is.
I mean, he's not wrong.
And he is not wrong.
No.
We'll see that later. Rufio
Oh,
does very much exist.
Love that she's also goth because everyone wears black.
Those symbols we brought up in there.
Oh no. Bad. Oh jeez.
Violently shaking.
When this was made.
Completely explodes on the head.
We also mentioned that in a second. Those are the troll's ancestors. Oh. Brisbane just rolled all eights. The lucky number. That's cool. So right there, we saw a couple things. The most important of which being this, that, and but these are god tiers. There are classes such as breath and light. There are a bunch actually. Brisket was also light. There are aspects, and then there are classes which show how you use your aspects. Which means that she essentially has control over like all fate. It isn't as overpowered as it seems, but Oh yeah, this is definitely gonna end up going longer. Sorry guys.
Just go with it, man. We're here for it.
She can control luck. The thing she says a lot is that she has all the luck, because she does. In the animation there, we saw her take all the luck from the Black King, give it to herself, and that's why she was able to annihilate him. John's is eventually the heir of breath. He can become, control, I guess, like mastery over all wind and such. And then there's Rose's, which is the seer of light. She can see the future and general things like that. Yes.
I have a fun fact about aspects.
Yes.
Anyone who's familiar with the show Bluey, the creator has assigned every member of the healer family a class and aspect. What are they?
There's also a lot of background things that have Homestuck vocabulary.
Oh, it's great.
It's so good. Like in a grocery store, there's like a
So
process.
Vriska achieved her god tier before any of the other trolls with the help of Tavros. She found her quest bed, went to go die on it after getting the living shit beaten out of her out of Bioradia, and asked Tavros to kill her on her quest bed. But instead, he didn't want to do that, so he just left her to bleed out and die instead. And she is very angry about that. But she became god tier, so not too angry.
I have it. Does anyone want to hear them?
Yes.
So Bandit is a bard of hope. Chili is a mage of hope. Bluey is a knight of void, and Bingo is a page of light.
But, so Vriska became god tier before anyone else. She didn't tell any of the other trolls, I believe, besides Tavros. But yeah, then we get to trolls winning. They won after that battle. They got to claim their ultimate reward. Kind of. As they went to go claim their ultimate reward and make the new universe, they achieved the goal. The new universe was created, but before they had access to their own universe, like their own new universe they have created, something happened. There was a tear in paradox space, which is essentially just space-time. And something came out of it that they blamed the kids for, John, Dave, Rose, and Jade, and it prevented them from going to their new universe, which just happens to be the kids' universe. So yes, the trolls created the kids' universe.
So they made Earth.
Yes, yes.
They also gave it cancer.
They also gave it cancer, which I will get into later. I believe I have it somewhere.
I saw it earlier. It's,
But he was talking about aspect.
Yeah, I don't know where I put it, but yes, I do have it. They gave it cancer.
Which was a lot further than I thought I was. I thought I was only like
So Rose, okay, well, first, after not doing that, we find out Karkat talks to John for the first time, and for the first time for Karkat is the last time for John. So he talks to John very late in John's perspective, and immediately Karkat's like, yo, this John guy's, and then John goes, I'm not gay, and Karkat's like, wait, what's gay?
And that's why he talks to him backwards. He can't talk to him ever again after he knows that.
the cancer part is right on the ancestor part.
Ancestors? Yes, I gave your whole universe cancer, Jade, in quotes. So that happens. John finds the second disc of Spurb after PM delivers it in this like little mailbox kind of thing on Loas. Rose, she contacts the horror terrors, which are these beings that live beyond space on what's called the furthest ring. The furthest ring is where the fucking the Elders live, the Cthulhu and all that shit. And they're fucked up, but they're actually kind of chill once you get to know them. In fact, she's actually been recently granted power by the horror terrors. She has like super fucking cool eldritch magic now. She's like a warlock. Briscoe and Terezi start talking to John and Dave respectively. So Briscoe starts talking to John, Terezi starts talking to Dave. Briscoe causes Jack Noir. Okay, what I mean by that, we'll see right somewhere. So what I mean by that,
Flash
I'll just get into
animation
that.
immediately after the point.
Yeah, so I'll just get into it. I didn't want to spoil it so you guys can see it in the animation. But essentially what happens is that they find out, or we find out, that the thing that prevented the trolls from claiming their ultimate reward was Jack Noir. But I mean, he wasn't that strong. I mean, Bro was able to hold him off. That was until Jade entered the game and prototyped a God Dog into her Colonel Sprite, which means that the ring that gives Jack power gives him the God power. So now he's way stronger and basically impossible to fight right now. And so Vriska, knowing this, wanted to be important. She wanted to be the hero that would save everyone, and in order to do that and make sure that that happened, she also wanted to be the one to cause it so that she would have a bad guy to beat. So she made sure that Jack Noir became Beck Noir and basically fucked up everything. And the way she did this is that once Jade connected and Jade entered, which I'll play in a second, and John became her server player, before John could prototype something else into the Colonel Sprite, she put him to sleep using her psychic powers, and Beck, in a moment of panic, trying to save Jade, teleported himself into the Colonel Sprite, making himself into Beck Sprite, and making Beck Noir. I will play Jade enter now.
So the reason John was asleep was because of Vriska?
Yes. No, I just
Okay, well, he's pulling that up. The only other thing that this creator has in this post is that Muffin is a mage of rage. Love it. It's at the very bottom.
So Jade is finally in the game.
Jade, this is Jade enter. Jade is entering the game. There's that little guy on the laptop. What she has to do is hit the pinata. Not that hard, right? But she has a blindfold. I'm about to prototype some random doll. Vriska. Sorry, that's later.
Epilepsy warning.
That's great. That's just kind of accidentally destroyed. There's Dave's sprite and Bro playing off Jack. Oh god, it's a furry.
You can't beat the furries.
Also, check the watch on
The fucking one was good.
Her fucking smirk.
That's a variety of evacuating everybody. Just when they think they're safe. I should get this ready.
Remember that 11?
It's only 6 tries.
does eventually destroy the game, right?
Yeah, he gets the whole engine right now. He's gonna destroy the whole.
Alright,
He's
so
just a
this is
dog. He
dog.
doesn't. He may have godlike powers, but he doesn't know anything.
Alright,
How many ninjas?
a lot.
Yeah.
So, everyone who still had a living dream self on CrossFit. So, yeah, that happens. Because of Jack Noir now, Loas is on fire. John's planet, the one with oil. So,
Ooh.
it doesn't matter. It's Homestuck.
They're gonna die again.
So John is panicking because an entire planet with oceans of oil instead of water is on fire. He's on that planet. He's probably gonna die.
Okay.
But Wayward Vagabond, our friendly little guy at the little control center, starts trying to help him out. He tries to tell him to do the windy thing. John doesn't know what the windy thing is yet. But in a panic, he eventually does the windy thing. Now, the planet is now not on fire anymore. Everything's pretty chill. And John needs to continue progressing. And with the help of Vriska, John is about to get his tiger. Get his tiger is a joke in Homestuck about a mistranslation of God tier. So she's about to help John go God tier. One thing she doesn't tell him is that you have to die to go God tier. She's just like, oh yeah, it's gonna be so fun. You're gonna get some super cool powers. It's gonna be awesome. Just go lay down on this bed and go to sleep. So he does. And when that happens, Jack shows up and stabs him, and he dies.
Spoilers.
It is spoilers, but I don't think it shows up here. I think it's just him dying, so.
Yeah, I think that's like the panel leading up to that.
There's one more. Also, Vriska was trying to as she was talking with John, started making John dress like her. I think that's funny. So that's why he has the black shirt instead of the white shirt and the.
Do you think she was practicing for herself?
Although John did die on his quest bed. Sniper rifle, and roses are knitting needles that she can also use as wands.
I forget, in that moment, does Wayward Vagabond know what's happening?
I think future Wayward Vagabond does. I don't think past, but the one going on.
So all that was just like a year and a half of Homestuck, right?
I believe so. In fact, 612 is also a very important number. That is when we first are introduced to the trolls, 612. It is essentially there 413. There are a couple of very important numbers throughout Homestuck, and those are two of them, 413 and 612.
Is how much time has passed in the universe as well?
I'm not sure.
I don't think so. I want to say it's been like 3 or 4 days.
3 or 4 days?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The really big
All these
skips
acts
in
are like
time
3 or
don't
4
come
days.
until the yellow yard, which we will get to.
We're getting there.
But yes.
Can't wait
So,
to break through the
After John becomes God tier, I already explained some class specs. He's messing around. He's got some new powers. He's pretty cool. He's back to life. Yeah, that's pretty sweet. Jack is still roaming around though. He thinks John's dead, so he just moved on. And he finds Dad Egbert and Mom Milan going on a date, which is very sweet, until Jack kills them both.
No.
And he tries to kill Jade after finding her, but for some reason can't. And it turns out it's because of Beck. After Beck prototyped himself, Jack also obtains some of like either the memories or the feelings of Beck, and so cannot bring himself to harm Jade, which is very helpful. Yes,
Should we add Mom and Dad to the kill count?
you should.
Do we add John again?
We already added.
He did.
I did.
Okay.
So
15.
now, Jade is again in her world now. Forgot to write it down. It's snow and something.
Frosted frogs.
Frosted frogs. She prototypes her dead self, her taxidermy dead self, because her grandpa, he loved to taxidermy, found dreamed Jade's body from the past, or not from the past, I guess from the future, and brought it back. It's complicated. She prototypes herself. And now we have Jade's sprite. So Jade is, she's got like dog ears now, at least in sprite form. She is a furry. And she starts making the man, the myth, the legend, Bilious Slick. So Bilious Slick is the name of the universe frog. Because as it turns out in Homestuck, the universe is a frog. And the trolls also had to make a universe frog. Which
I didn't know he had a
we
name.
will get to when Carcat admits something, which we already know. So Bilious Slick is being made. It takes a while. Eventually Dave meets up with Jade on her land of Frosted Frogs, and helps make Bilious Slick it's a bunch of ecobiology, and it just takes a while because you have to like fuse a bunch of fucking frogs together. It's weird. Doc Scratch starts talking